Good morning. We just got back from our walk, me and my dog. It's about, I don't know, 7 o'clock. It's already almost 70 degrees in Albuquerque, New Mexico, so that's nice. It's gonna be hot today again, about 98 probably. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about the subconscious versus the unconscious versus conscious, because it needs simplified sometimes. I remember when I first started studying it and looking it up, it was very confusing to me. So just put it simply, it's just like this. This is going to be a short, sweet video. Your subconscious, conscious, unconscious. Your subconscious is the operating programs that are running you in your daily life. It contains your beliefs, your conditioning, and your experiences, including childhood traumas, things like that. Anything that affects your experience now will be held in your subconscious. And when you're unconscious, meaning you don't know or you're unaware, your unconscious is just unawareness, basically. You're unaware of what's in your subconscious running your life, or what operating systems are running you, your beliefs and things that could be questioned or looked at to see whether or not they're true, and so you could let go of whatever's not serving you, whatever's not good for you or best for you. Consciousness, or being conscious of what's in your subconscious, means you're aware of what operating systems you've been running on, looking at things from your past experiences, beliefs, conditioning, and childhood upbringing, the environment, everything, and how it affected you, so that it runs how you're living your life today. And there's things in there that you could look at, and sometimes all it takes is to notice it. I know with childhood traumas, a lot of times all you have to do is become conscious, bring what's in your subconscious into the light of consciousness. I'm sure you've heard that term before. Just look at it, notice it, and then you can let it go. Then sometimes just the awareness of it allows you to release it, and that's how healing happens. So you have your subconscious, you have your unconscious, and you're conscious. So you're conscious of some things and you're unconscious of other things. And I think the percentage has gone down probably in recent years, where more people are becoming conscious of everything, greater truths, and it comes from looking within and seeing what operating systems you're running from and what's in your subconscious. Why do you keep ending up in certain situations over and over again? What cycles? That's the thing about your subconscious, will hold you in a little cycle or circle, and you'll just be spinning your wheels, going round and round, expecting something to be different and change. You want things to change, you just don't know how to change them. You want a healthy relationship, you want to be happy in your life, you want to be at peace, you want to be releasing some unhealthy habits, things like that. So your option then is to make an effort to become conscious of what's in your subconscious, thereby bringing what's in your subconscious into the light of consciousness, so that you can release it. That's the simplest way to compare the three: subconscious, unconscious, and conscious. Now there's a greater consciousness, which I'm sure many of you have heard of, and the greater consciousness is what holds the whole reality, really. There's a greater consciousness. But when you become conscious of the operating systems and conditioning and beliefs that are holding you back, because it's very important to start questioning your beliefs, because sometimes we're holding on to things that we were told as we were young, as we were growing up. Most of what's in the subconscious has filled up the subconscious before we're the age of 7. Then between the age of 7 and 30, we're pretty steadfast in our ways, unwilling to look at what's in our subconscious, or question our own beliefs. We want to believe we're right, everyone else is wrong in any situation, and everyone's different, and that's just a fact. And that's what makes the world so beautiful and makes it go round, really. Everyone has different motifs in their subconscious. Everyone's running, not everyone, but I would say a good 80% of people are still pretty unconscious of what's running them and why they're miserable, or why they end up in these messed up relationships. And some people will be not everyone is meant to become conscious of what's in their subconscious, to become happier, more peaceful, and to grow. Not everyone's here to do that. So if you're here to do that, you'll know it because you're probably watching this video, and I would suggest that the others are probably not interested, because sometimes what's in the subconscious for some people, let me just say, I'm going to throw this out there, the word is overused, but a true narcissist, for example, pathological narcissist, diagnosable narcissist, very likely will not be able to become conscious of what's in their subconscious and thereby never heal in this lifetime. Because not only would they have to look at what's in their subconscious, childhood traumas and the life that they've led the first 7 years of their life, they would also then have to look at everything that they've done and how they lived since then. And that would just destroy the whatever's left of the personality or ego of the narcissist. So it's very likely that that wouldn't happen. Most people, if they're in an unhappy place, or they want more peace, or they just can't figure it out, life is frustrating, there's little strands of hopelessness running through their experience, there's no other choice at some point. They say that one heals and one becomes conscious when you're through suffering. So if you've suffered enough, you've had enough, that leaves you with one choice, and that's to look at your subconscious, look at your beliefs, the simplest beliefs. As you're going throughout your day and you hear your thoughts, and your thoughts are saying things like, he's this, she's that, they this, they that, question them. Question whether or not that's really true, and then question why you believe that that's true. Why would you believe that? Is it because you were taught that from a young age, and therefore you believe it to be true? Because let me tell you something, we're all brought up one generation after another, oftentimes with the same exact beliefs and conditioning, and it goes down from generation to generation. And each time a new generation is born, they're at a better place, they're a little bit more evolved, they're fresh slate sort of thing, and so they would start to believe less and less the same stringent conditioning, and usually their parents are a little bit more less abusive, less stringent, less stagnant than the previous generation. And that's how evolution just naturally happens. But we can take some healing and growing into our own hands by trying to become conscious of what's in our subconscious. Therefore, no longer walking around completely unconscious of what's not true and what is true. True truth, reality, the real reality, because of many things that we were told and taught, and the environment that we grew up in about ourselves. Even what do we believe about ourselves that's not true? You have to go deep. You got to look deep in there, but just look at it, notice it, and then maybe learn about it. Watch more YouTube videos, or read some books, listen to some audiobooks. There's all kinds of different ways. Once the universe knows that you're consciously trying to grow by looking inward, by researching on the internet, and really willing to expand your consciousness, your awareness about any topic that helps you, that means you're trying to grow. Once the universe knows that, and it will, you'll be pulled along. You won't be able to stop. There's no stopping. There's no stopping after that. And nothing else will bring you the most joy, happiness, fulfillment, wholeness than being on a journey of growth and expansion of your consciousness. So conscious is just being awareness. Unconscious is unawareness. And your subconscious is the little place. It's not in our brain either. It's up here. Okay, it's around us. Of all our beliefs that we were told, the lies that just are not true, that we tell ourselves are true. Okay, so just take about ourselves. That's very important, because it's not just lies about other people. Fear, for example, if you're afraid of certain things, it's okay to have experiences and then be afraid the next time a similar experience comes your way, of course. But I'm talking about more on a emotional level, for example, or the beliefs that your family holds about you. Are those true? Are they really? No, they're not. We're all born equally with the same sort of essence, or different essences, but with the same sponge-like learning abilities. And so the environment, the people, even the thoughts around people can influence the way we believe about ourselves, and that happens throughout our whole lives. So we have to look at what's true, what's not true about ourselves, about our beliefs, about fears that we have. And you'll start having more faith in life. You'll start seeing differences, changes. Really pay attention to your thoughts. I think I've said that before. Many thoughts are just, again, cycles, circles. They're subconsciously happening. They're the same thoughts you had yesterday because you're in the same environment you were in yesterday, doing the same things you did yesterday. And when you want change, things to change, you got to get outside your own thoughts and beliefs so that you can expand your consciousness and see a broader view of everything. And that's where potential lies. Okay? So that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to simplify subconscious, conscious, and unconscious for those that find it difficult to understand like I did. Have a great day. Thanks.